Hello. I finally made it. I was a little late because I was chasing coyotes out of my yard. Yes. So let's see, people are going to start showing up. There's Laura, who's just going to tag you. Thanks for being here. Hi, Donna. Let's see who else is going to join us here. I wanted to tag some people. We're going to wait till we get up in the numbers a little bit. So if you want to tag people to come join us in the group, that would be absolutely amazing. I want to make sure I'm live and in the right place. Here I am. Hello, Heather. Hi, Laura. Hi, Tammy. Hi, Julie. Hi, Angelique. I think... Let's see. Maria wanted me to tag her. Okay, cool. Maria's here. I was just tagging you, my love. Hello, all of my beautiful, beautiful ladies, beautiful friends. Here we are in this space of reclamation, of rebirth. I'm going to start getting into it in a second. I want to get at least 15 people here before we start. I know we're going to be a lot more than that as we go. So, hello everyone. How's everyone doing out there in Facebook land? You hanging in? You hanging in? Hi, hi, hi. So, we are here today to join in on this beautiful ceremony, and I'm glad you guys are here. I'm glad you're here to join in this space to kind of bring up the vibe of what's really going on, to kind of illuminate much better the undercurrent that is underneath all of the fear and all of the chaos and the confusion, the uncertainty that has, you know, shaken us awake. And to bring in a better understanding of why this is happening now, or maybe to shed a light for you and bring some new perspective in for you as to why this is happening now. We're going to talk a little bit about, I'm not going to go too much into the pagan rites, the pagan tradition that Easter is really all about. And we're going to connect with Ostara. You can call her Eoster. She has identifications in Germanic traditions, in Celtic traditions, in Norse mythology. She can also be seen as Persephone in Greek mythology. The feeling, the consciousness, the spectrum or bandwidth of awareness is the same. The name may change, but the underlying message and the essence of even its, you know, kind of borrowing of the theme in Christianity, the essence of all of this is the same. It is rebirth. It is reclaiming. It is awakening, a reawakening. Really being brought to light and into full, high contrast, high relief, the ideas of light and growth, fertility, abundance, renewal, the chance to start again. Okay? Is it a coincidence that these themes seem to be coming up on the heels of a pretty gnarly and chaotic time in this historical time period, this historical trigger event of the COVID-19 timeline, the coronavirus timeline that's hitting this planet and affecting everyone globally? This level of impact that is causing ripples of awakening throughout the whole planet Is it a coincidence that this is happening and coinciding with this period of rebirth, coming back into light, a reawakening of our soul's remembrance of our divinity, bringing in a new chance to start again, which, will lend itself with this light, with this upsurgence of the light, to new levels of fertility, new levels of abundance, new levels for renewal and regrowth. I offer that up to you because it's very easy to get swept up in the chaos and the uncertainty, the fear. It's gripping all of us in one way or another. Every single one of us, I don't care how woke you are feeling some level of fear. Whether that's you tapping into what's in the collective, or you having something that is coming up out of shadow finally and in full relief, so that you can, without any doubt, without any denial, fully see this shadow that you've been playing with. And yes, you have been playing with it. You can say that it's been plaguing you, and that would be the victimhood statement. But you can say that I've been playing with this shadow long enough. I'm ready to see it now in its full relief. I'm ready to see it in the full unwelcome contrast that it provides for me. And I'm ready to feel it, make peace with it, and let it go. As we move into deeper levels of this ascension process, and I'm talking about moving into higher frequency light quotients hitting this planet, in order for us to be in accord with those, in order for us to establish a coherent frequency with those, it is imperative that we honor this shadow that we've been playing with, that we make peace with whatever is that message, that gift in the garbage, I call it, that it's been trying to shake us awake to for so long, and maybe now we're finally ready to see it. Thank that shadow. And you could call it, on a global level, you could call it the shadow imprint of the patriarchy that has caused this massive imbalance on the planet. Maybe making peace with that in the collective. If you don't feel like there's a deeper level of shadow that's plaguing you or you're playing with individually. Maybe it's time to make peace with, I finally see now that these themes that we're playing with, these things that are coming up, maybe not so much as a coincidence as we are coming into this time of Easter, this time of rebirth, this time of fertility, this time of growth and renewal. That is it's an opportunity to see where the scales of the masculine and feminine have tipped into imbalance, and where we now have an opportunity to reclaim the sovereign divine feminine, not to tip that out of balance either. Moving into, these high frequency codes that are hitting planet, they are Sophianic codes, meaning to have the ascension matrix to be in full balance, in full coherence, in full harmony, there has to be a harmonic, coherent frequency between the sacred masculine and the sacred feminine. It's not about having the feminine take over. It was never about that. It's about taking the feminine and bringing it back into balance, which will inform the masculine. It'll inform the patriarchal shadow aspect, the shadow body of the patriarchal, to bring in more light, to bring in more of the sacred masculine, to bring those scales where they've been tipped out of balance back into harmony. It's not about the feminine taking over. It's never been about that. It's about harmonic. The harmonic frequency of perfect balance, coherence, accord. And so we have an opportunity at this time to see where we have an opportunity to be better stewards of those sacred feminine principles, where we can no longer ignore where we've been tipping the very scales of balance on our planetary home into discord. This means being better stewards of Mother Earth herself, of our planet that we call home. There's no other species, by the way, that treats their home with such disregard and disrespect as humans do. Sorry, not sorry. Even the most vicious animals in nature, the honey badger, treats its home better than we as humans do. This is the patriarchal shadow aspect, showing us in high relief where we have been disregarding our planetary home, and where we have an opportunity to be better stewards, bringing up that balance. Where we have an opportunity to be better stewards of each other, to treat each other, the human family. Everyone here who calls themselves a human being is an extension of you, is an extension of me. And yet we disregard or disrespect our family members. We look the other way when it's convenient for us to do so. When we have an opportunity to help. When we have an opportunity to support and love and be more compassionate and tender and kind to each other. Bringing those scales up. What I would propose to you, instead of looking at Easter through the lens of, let's just say, the very myopic viewpoint of Christianity, where it's about the rebirth of Christ, where he was crucified and brought back to life, which is a borrowed theme that has been part of pagan traditions, has been part of religions and sacred ritual, spiritual ritual for thousands of years that predate Christianity. This is a borrowed theme, the idea of resurrection and rebirth. You could look to the tale of Isis and Osiris. After Isis's brother, Set, killed Osiris, she brought him back. She resurrected him from the dead. This is a theme that goes back to Samaria. It goes back to Mesopotamia. It goes back to ancient Greece. It goes back to ancient Rome. Okay? This is a borrowed theme. Whatever you feel about Christianity, I'm not trying to sway you out of what you believe in, but I'm inviting you to take a look at, this is more about where we've come from and what has brought us up to this pivot point right now. It is about looking at our historical record as being the energetic crucifixion of humanity. And that this is highly symbolic of the awakening process that is happening right now. When you can kind of pull back in your awareness and see it, not from this myopic lens of looking at Easter being this time of celebrating the rebirth of Christ, you are celebrating the rebirth of Christ consciousness, which has everything to do with the Christos blueprint and the Sophianic blueprint, the divine masculine and divine feminine respectively, being in perfect balance and harmony. And this doesn't just happen. Just as we've been asleep or in certain ways complicit with this energetic crucifixion of humanity thus far, we are just as obliged, we are just as responsible for taking the awakening process even further, deepening that, being a beacon and, a leader by example of how we bring these principles back into play and reclaim this planet from being a prison planet back to the original Garden of Eden, which is highly symbolic of this planet being a garden. In its original inception, it was a pristine and majestic garden. We are rebirthing our awareness to how to restore and reclaim that. This requires our effort. This requires, our attention and our focus. It requires behavior modification. It requires us moving out of this kind of cognitive bias of the earth is just here to plunder its resources so that we can have more convenient and more comfortable lives. Where has that gotten us? You saw how quickly the earth will reclaim her own sovereignty when we stop doing harmful processes on the planet. We saw through this pandemic process dolphins and all kinds of waterfowl returning to the canals of Venice. We saw the pollution levels depleting in very, very profound levels in Italy, in China. because we had to have a global reset and stop what we were doing, we were giving Mother Earth a chance for a breather. If this doesn't allow us to see how we have not been very good stewards of this planetary home of ours, and to make appropriate changes going forward so that we can help Mother Earth reclaim her sovereignty, then we would be remiss. And we would be missing out on an incredible opportunity to see that this energetic crucifixion of humanity has everything to do with us hurting not only this planet, but ourselves. Because we are the ones who are tipping the scales out of harmony, tipping the scales out of balance between the sacred masculine and the sacred feminine. Everything about Eoster, Ostara, Esther, whatever you want to call her, even Isis herself, is part of this bandwidth and frequency of consciousness, of rebirth, awakening, abundance, fertility, renewal, the chance to start again. Everything about that we're going to be entering into here today in just a moment is about merging this timeline of consciousness with where we are. Taking this shadow body, which is very much a reversal current of the sacred masculine, by the way, the shadow body of the false patriarchy, the shadow body of the dark patriarchy. It's a reversal current of consciousness. So as we're in this space, you're very much going to feel like a different oscillation or spiral of energy, taking our energy in a different direction, reversing that shadow current to move us out of this energetic crucifixion of humanity and into the goddess spiral, the ascension spiral, of moving our consciousness up, of elevating our awareness up. So when we merge with Esther, Ostara, Eoster, we're not merging with, it's not a one-on-one connection. Anytime you connect with a goddess or an ascended master, you're not connecting in a one-on-one way. For instance, if you work with Kuan Yin, you're not connecting with just a single entity. You are connecting with a bandwidth, a spectrum of consciousness, and everything that is in coherence with that level of awareness. That means that you are pulling in a frequency and making yourself a magnetic attractor for everything that matches that frequency, that vibration. So when you're connecting with Kuan Yin, you are connecting with everything that has to do with compassion, tenderness, mercy, forgiveness, kindness. It is a bandwidth of frequency. And as you expand that bandwidth of frequency out, you are making yourself that much more of a beacon of being a high-powered magnetic attractor for everything that has to do with our resonance. And so as we connect here in this space today, and we connect with Ostara, we are connecting with everything. And we're doing it as a group, which enhances it even more. We're connecting with everything that is part of that bandwidth of consciousness, that frequency of awareness. We're connecting with everything that has to do with light. We're connecting with everything that has to do with the Sophianic codes of higher light quotients hitting this planet, informing us how, giving us the instruction sets of how to carry forth our legacy as humans, being divine stewards of this planet and divine stewards of each other. We're connecting with all of the frequencies of everything that's green and verdant and has to do with growth, fertility, rebirth, abundance, renewal, and a reclaiming of our true and accurate historical record. What has been wiped from our cellular memory from this shadow current of the false patriarchy, the dark patriarchy. We are literally spinning that vortex of energy in a different direction. And when we do that, we kind of rewind our historical record. And when we do this, this is part of the awakening process. It's a reclaiming of our accurate cellular history. It's all recorded in our divine DNA, which we are very much, awakening to at this point. everything that allows us to become divine humans. It's all recorded in the DNA. It's all there. It's all imprinted, or there's a blueprint of it, let's just say. So all the instruction sets of how to be a divine human are there. So when we reverse this shadow current, it's like a rewinding past all of where our cellular memory has been wiped, and it's a reclaiming of that information. For some of you, this may trickle into your awareness over time, over days, weeks, months. For some of you, this may come in a very profound blockchain download of information that you may, wake up at 4:45 this morning and say, oh my God, this makes so much sense now. This is how powerful these energies are. So if you want to, research more about, this isn't necessarily about a history of Ostara or Eoster or Eoster. If you were to just Google rebirth, resurrection stories throughout history, you will find a treasure trove of this theme that exists in Christianity, and we think that's where it started. This is a theme that predates Christianity by thousands and thousands, perhaps even millions of years. But the essence is the same. Rebirth. Renewal. Moving from what has been into what is and what we are becoming. Overcoming the powers of darkness, overcoming the shadow patriarchy, overcoming, anywhere where we have been hung out to dry by the powers that be, by those who would hold us back. That refers to our energetic crucifixion of humanity. Jesus, Ishtar being hung on a stake. If you have access to Sumerian mythology, Ishtar was hung naked on a stake. This predates Christianity by thousands and thousands of years. The resurrection myth of Horus, the resurrection myth of Osiris in Egyptian mythology. It's symbolic of who we are and who we are becoming. We are coming back to life. We can't be asleep anymore. So that's the energy we're going to dig into here. This is the energy of being reborn into a new level of awareness, a new level of consciousness, where we can make peace with what has been. We're not in denial of what has been. We're making peace with it. And we make peace with something, with anything, saying, how can I use this information of what has been to better myself individually and to contribute to the better health, wealth, well-being, and vitality of the planet collectively? Does this make sense? All right. So if you have water, and I highly recommend having some water, hydration is so important. And because, Easter is very much a solar celebration. This is, the divine solar in terms of, obviously the masculine can represent the sun represents the masculine, the lunar represents the feminine. This is a time of celebration where it is a solar celebration. This is, not just a rebirth of the feminine, it's a rebirth and a reclaiming of the solar masculine, the sacred masculine. Okay, so it's important to remember that. So let's celebrate that. So just get yourselves comfortable. You can be laying down, you can be seated. Get yourself very present, awake and aware. You're welcome, Maya. That's what I'm here to do. And I'm glad you're all here. Thank you all for being here. Just get yourself settled. I want you to start feeling yourself being very present in the space that you're in. Feel the temperature of the room on your skin. You may want to just move your head Gently from side to side, open up and release any tension in the jaw, the neck, and the shoulders. Okay. Sometimes when we hear truth or something that it shakes us out of our slumber, we can hold tension in the body. So just become aware of anywhere in your body where you feel tense, dense, tight. Okay, and simply just take a deep breath in and direct the breath on the exhale to that spot. Just imagine that tense energy just dissolving. And just send it out through the soles of the feet. Send it into the earth. You can go ahead and close your eyes. Take a deep breath in through the nose. And out through the mouth. And as you do this again, I want you to become very aware of your body just settling. Becoming kind of loose and light. Take a deep breath in through the nose. And out through the mouth. Feeling those shoulders fall down. The next deep breath in, I want you to imagine just some soothing golden light coming over the crown. So you take a deep breath in, just allowing this light, this beautiful solar golden light, settle over the body, going down over the face, over the muscles of the face, the muscles of the neck, the muscles of the shoulders and the top of your back, your mid-back, cascading down your arms, the lower back, out through the fingertips, over your backside, your gluteus, soothing all the muscles of your hips, your legs. Taking this energy down, it's just this golden, beautiful solar light, this wave of relaxation, going down through the body, just kind of gliding over the tops of your feet, over the toes, bringing it down to the soles of the feet, and then taking it out and down through all the layers of the earth. Traveling down through dirt and rock and crystal, just feeling that love, that abundance, that fertility of Mother Earth as you travel down through all the layers of the earth and reach the central core of Mother Earth. And settle your energy there, and as you do, feeling all the knowledge, the abundance, the verdance, the growth, the fertility, the light, the beauty, the knowledge of Mother Earth, and all the support and love that she holds for you. Just connect with that. You feel very nourished, you feel very supported, you feel very safe, very secure. And now sending this energy back up. It's this kind of beautiful goldeny green, almost like a chartreusey type color, but in a very golden light, and bringing this all the way back up through the soles of the feet. Just feel how different that feels now. It's almost like wearing like these warm, beautiful slippers of this goldeny green light. It's very rich, very soothing, very helpful and calming to your spirit. And bringing this up, you'll feel a tingling in the legs, awakening all of your accurate historical record, your cellular history that's all stored in your DNA of who you truly are, your true connection, the rhythms that you share in your own heartbeat, in your own brain functioning, that match the resonance of the rhythms of Mother Earth. All of this is being awakened on a cellular level, bringing this up through the legs, having it reach the calves, behind the backs of the knees, your kneecaps, enriching and soothing any tension, tightness, inflammation, soothing that, energizing that. re-enlivening the body as you bring this up through the thighs, the backs of the legs, into the pelvis, the base of the spine, through the waist, lower abdomen, rising up through your solar plexus, coming into all of your organs in the central body, bringing a sense of almost like a quickening, a reawakening, a re-enlivening of all the organs, all the tissues, the veins, the capillaries, the arteries. Bringing this into the heart, this beautiful goldeny green energy. Bringing health and vitality to the heart. Bringing in new levels of information, messages from Mother Earth herself into your heart. What is she telling you? And bringing this up through the arms now, letting this rise through the fingertips, up through the wrists, the forearms, the elbows, the upper arms, into your biceps, triceps, up into the shoulders. Bring this up like a beautiful necklace of goldeny green light around the collarbone, around the base of the throat, soothing the energies of the throat, soothing the energy of the lungs, bringing in open capillaries, opening the capillaries of the lungs. You're able to breathe deeper now. Breathe in and out. Feel the lungs opening up with all this rich green, goldeny green light. Bringing it up through the throat and the jaw, out the neck. The back of the neck into the altar major chakra, right at the base of the spine, where the skull sits on the spine. Soothing the energy behind the left ear. Soothing the energy behind the right ear. Opening up the inner ear. Bringing this energy up through the skull. Opening up all the psychic centers in full perception inside the skull. Bringing this energy in behind the sinus cavity and into the sinus cavity, bathing the sinuses, the left and the right, nasal passages, opening up your ability to breathe better, inhale in better, and breathe out anything that's toxic, ready to leave the body. Soothing any tension, tightness in the sinus cavities. Bringing this goldeny green energy in behind the eyes, bathing the ocular cavities in this beautiful light. Into the temples, soothing any tension, tightness, dense energy, shadowy energy. Just above the eyebrows now, and moving into the centered part of the brow. Soothing any and all energies in the forehead, any tension, tightness, dense, dark, shadowy energy, lit up by this goldeny green light. Soothing any tension in the scalp, bringing in tingles to the top of the head, to the crown. I want you to imagine just above the crown is this column, this gateway of light, being opened up now and illuminated by this goldeny green light, sending up a shaft, a column, a tube of this light, of goldeny green light, sending this up into your stellar gateway. And to the 8th chakra, the 9th chakra, the 10th chakra, the 11th chakra, the 12th chakra, the 13th chakra, the 14th chakra, the 15th chakra, the 16th chakra, the 17th chakra, the 18th chakra, the 19th chakra, the 20th chakra, the 21st chakra, the 22nd chakra, the 23rd chakra. And as you feel this stellar gateway opening up, you may notice that it oscillates between becoming wider and narrower. It is a living, breathing current of energy. Don't feel the need to direct it or manipulate it. Simply become aware of its movement, of its oscillation, of its energy. I want you to become very aware now of this connection, of where it reaches the top. This could be 400 feet above the top of your head, where you're reaching the 23rd chakra, which is not directly above situation or location. It's more that these transpersonal chakras go up and out. Imagine it forming a tube torus of energy that originates, has an assemblage point in your heart, in the heart center. And this energy goes up to the 23rd chakra and out. It circulates and comes down about 100 feet below your actual feet and circles back up again, forming a tube torus of energy, an oscillating movement of energy. And just get a feel for this. Don't try to, again, manipulate it or move it with the force of your will. Simply let it be, notice it, be aware of it. I want you to be aware of, as you take your energy all the way back down to the core of the earth, I want you to imagine this goldeny green light in a spiral, coming up from the core of the earth in a spiral that is running clockwise. I want to imagine it clockwise. And as it rises, as the spiral ascends through this column of energy that you've established with this connection to Mother Earth, I want you to see this clockwise circulating spiral, ascending spiral, coming up through all the layers of the earth, coming up through the soles of the feet, coming up through the central core of light, this cord of connection that runs a current from core of the earth up through your body and up to the 23rd chakra. Just keep following the trajectory, the movement, this clockwise movement of energy, this ascending goddess spiral. As it ascends through the body, it is creating anti-movement to the shadow patriarchal body and all energies, all energetics, all harmonics that are running the reversal current of that throughout your body, nullifying anything in your cellular record where you're holding on to the agony, the chaos, the frustration, the disempowerment of that reversal shadow current. You may notice certain parts in the body as this ascending goddess spiral running clockwise reverses this shadow body within you. What is coming up? What messages are you receiving? Where do you feel dense energy in the body moving out, becoming lighter, dissolving? Bringing this up, all the way up, make sure it reaches through all parts of the body, even down to the fingertips. Letting this ascend, this clockwise goddess spiral, letting this ascend through the body without the need to force it anywhere. Simply allow it. It has its own innate intelligence. It knows where to go. Simply follow it and become aware of its path. Let it move through the body at will. we're ready, let it move up and out of the body through this column of energy, this stellar gateway ascending up from the crown of the head, informing all of the morphogenetic fields in and around the body, informing all the energy that runs out from the assemblage point in your heart and through this tube torus of energy. Allow this energy to move up through this column of light, informing all of the chakras as you move up past all the personal chakras into the 8th, 9th, 10th, all those chakras that lead up to the 23rd chakra. What do you feel? What do you know? What do you hear? Where are you? In space and time? Have you been transported elsewhere in time? Maybe somewhere in your past, maybe somewhere in history's past, our collective past. Where are you merging with all of the consciousness, all of the bandwidth, all the spectrum of awareness of the great goddess, the great mother, the awakening of the great mother? You may want to cry, but it's a cry of like exaltation. It's a cry of joy. You may want to shake or move your body as you feel these energies, feeling more of this accurate cellular record coming online. It may feel like you want to move your body, move your arms, shift your shoulders, move your head. You may unconsciously be swaying your body. You may feel great, great pangs of joy and hope and faith and surrender in your heart center. So big, it may feel like you just want to explode. Simply breathe in and out. If there's any names of the goddess that you want to connect to here, what are they? It could be Hathor. It could be Isis. It could be Persephone. It could be Demeter. It could be Cybele. It could be Eoster. It could be Ostara. It could be Isis. It could be Inanna. You're connecting with all of them. You're connecting into the bandwidth that as we are here together holding this frequency as a group, we are expanding it outward. You may notice that your tube torus of energy feels like it's bigger. It's able to expand your light vessel and allow you to hold higher frequency quotients. Simply let that happen. Ask your higher self to give your body the information about how to hold this light and assimilate it comfortably. Maybe you're connecting with galactic beings here, star beings. That have a different name than anything I've mentioned. Any and all messages you're receiving, not about you individually, but perhaps about the collective of humanity. What are they? Ask that you may have full recall of this after this transmission is over. Do you feel like you've stopped at a certain chakra and that your energy is not allowed to go any further? Simply check into where that space is. Maybe you feel like you're stopped at the 18th or 19th chakra. Take a deep breath in. And as you exhale, expand that column of energy up even further in your awareness of that goldeny green column of light. moving it up further, almost like a read on a thermometer where you see the mercury level rising. You're seeing that golden green light rising up through this column of energy. It's simply allowing, as you expand your light vessel, to bring in the coherence of these energies even in a greater way, in a more expanded way, in a way where you are accommodating it comfortably in your body without the need to go into any physical, spiritual, emotional, or mental crisis. Simply allowing. And as you bring this golden green light up, you're bringing this expanding spiral, this counterclockwise goddess spiral that is ascending through all of these chakras. Any information held in these chakras that has been holding any of the reversal shadow currents of the false ascension matrix, the false patriarchy. Bringing this golden green, earthen, solar light up, awakening all of these codes in your chakras. You may hear light language here as you connect to these galactic chakras. You may want to loosen your jaw here. Sometimes when we open up to these higher frequency quotients, we kind of unconsciously hold tension in the body. So open the jaw up. Open up and say, ah, like you're at the dentist. Just release any tension in the jaw and the neck. You may want to roll your head from side to side. Roll your shoulders back, opening up the heart center to receive and allow even more. And you're just sitting and allowing yourself to receive, to be informed by these currents of energy, the ascension currents, the ascension quotients, the cosmic codes and frequencies that are enlivening, awakening, and expanding the bandwidth of Goddess consciousness, bringing in so much light that it is informing the solar masculine, the sacred masculine, restoring harmony and balance. Just allow yourself to bathe in this deliciousness. Allow your soul to remember who you are, how much power you really have. Awakening from our energetic crucifixion of humanity is about awakening and enlivening our sovereignty, our ability to act as sovereign agents on our own behalf and our behalf of all of humanity for the highest and best good of all, and with the least amount of resistance for all involved, remembering that we are all here to make the God choice. And we are here to be beacons of light to inform others how to do the same. Just allowing these currents, this ascension spiral, to awaken and enliven your soul being. Just a moment more. Asking for any last messages, any final transmissions that you'd like to receive in this space. And I want you to become aware of, as you take a deep breath in, just gently collapsing this golden green spiral along with this column of energy that extends up and out and into the 23rd chakra. Collapsing this down. Gently collapsing that tube torus, that oscillating current of energy. Just gently letting it dissolve and bringing this energy back down through the crown. It may have an effervescent quality as you become aware of it in your physical field, and you bring it down through the crown. Again, through the scalp, through all the psychic centers inside the skull, behind the sinuses, and behind the ocular cavities, through the temple, and through the mouth, down through the throat, the jaw, the neck, the shoulders. Bring it down the central part of the body, down through the arms, down through the torso, through the abdomen, the lower back, the base of the spine, the pelvis, the hips. Bringing it down through the legs. Reaching the ankles and now the feet. Taking this down through all the layers of the earth. Bringing in a new and inspired connection with Mother Earth as you bring it down through all the layers of dirt and rock and crystal. Bringing this energy down into the core of the earth. And saying, I am grounded, I am grounded, I am grounded. And when this transmission feels complete, take a deep breath in through the nose and out through the mouth. Open your eyes. Again, you may want to move your head from side to side, wiggling your fingers, rolling your shoulders back, opening up the energy of the chest, allowing you to receive this fully in your physical body. You may feel inspired to stand up and stretch. That's totally fine. How does everyone feel? I felt very yummy. It's definitely some food for the soul. Can I get a little feedback from y'all? How's everybody feeling? If you don't feel connected and back in the body, you want to drink some water for sure. Do something that is grounding. Go outside, stretch a little bit, feel your connection with the earth as you stand on it. You may want to be out in bare feet if you can do that. Heather says, amazing, insightful. Angelique says, I went somewhere really deep. I know I wasn't sleeping, but it felt really deep. That's wonderful, Angelique. I wish I could see. Sometimes when I come back from going deep places, I can't really see very well. I'm already kind of vision challenged, but had some water now, and the water tasted super sweet compared to usual. Wow. Lightened, Heather says. Feeling very awake. Yeah. Wonderful. More open and awake, Sandy says. Oh. Amazing and empowered. Feel like the stagnant energy was washed away and replenished with the new. Wonderful. That is so wonderful. So if you're just tuning in now, maybe some of you are just getting here at the end of this, the replay will definitely be here in our group. I'm also going to put it on my YouTube channel, so you can just go to Kathryn Massell on YouTube and you'll find it there. You can listen to this as often as you like. You know, you can't OD on a transmission like this. And I highly recommend that you do, because we are really at a tipping point with what has been and what is becoming. becoming of us, becoming of the planet, becoming of humanity, becoming of being better stewards and custodians of this planet and of each other as part of the human family. There is so much opportunity for us here to turn the tide on that shadow patriarchy that has been lending itself to the energetic crucifixion of humanity. What messages did you receive in this space? Or will you continue to receive in this space as you listen to this again? That are opening up your awareness to what is possible. Not only what is possible for you to maybe instigate or try or share or speak about that maybe you didn't feel like you could before. We are coming off of this collective hangover of the false ascension, the shadow patriarchy, and into the solar masculine and the solar feminine respectively. This is going to create not only such a huge paradigm shift in our entire ideology as human beings, but it's going to create, and it is creating, different paradigms of thought about what is possible for us to achieve individually and collectively. Those messages are there for you in this transmission. Those I don't want to call them answers, but those clues and cues to take this further, to take you further in your awakening process are there. How willing are you to mine the resources of this in this transmission and then enact, fully embody and take inspired action on what messages came in for you? This is the responsibility that is for all of us here as the human family. Whether you want to call yourself a thought leader, an energy healer or not is neither here nor there. We all have a responsibility to step up and enact these higher frequency codes of the divine feminine, to bring the divine, Christos and Sophianic template back into full balance and harmony. It requires our action, it requires our attention, our focus, and our participation. So I hope this has been wonderful. Hello everyone who's just joining, you just missed it. Hi Richard. Was made aware there were areas of, I can't read everything, I have to go back. Comments are coming in fast and furious. I love it, you guys. Thank you. You're welcome, you're welcome. Ready to be outside with my feet firmly planted, Joey says. Yes. Maria says, I'm so glad you mentioned the jaw. My right side of jaw has been tense and clenched. Release some now. Good. Been a way to step away in the middle. I'll be coming back to watch again. Awesome. You're welcome, Francesca. Feeling washed and empowered. Heather says, feel like what I've always known as the truth came home. And who I am confirmed, and I feel so much less alone because I saw home again and felt that connection to everyone. Yes, yes. That illusion of separation is part of the energetic crucifixion of humanity too. We are not separate. We are all threads, divine threads of consciousness with a capital C. Part of the false patriarchy, the false ascension matrix, has been very good at creating so much fragmentation and fracturing from pure source consciousness to make us believe that we are separate, to make us believe through negative ego programming that there is you and there is me. There is us. There is we. And we are coming back into that, resonance in our cellular memory where we are, reckoning with the past and saying, okay, well, this is where we've been and we can learn from that now. And here's what we can take that gift in the garbage of where we've been and apply it to where we want to go. So thank you all for being here. I'm so glad that so many of you were here to catch this live because it really was powerful, but it is just as good in the replay, I assure you. So I want to wish you guys so much light today. I want to wish you a lot of love. I want to bring you from my heart, my higher self, to your higher self, a deepened sense of connection, a greater sense of community here in this group. I hope that I've helped to share that with you here today, and I'm so glad that you're all here and part of part of our collective ascension process. You know, we're all here for a reason. We all have a part to play. And we're all obliged to honor each other in whatever that part might be. And I'm here to do that for you. So peace and love. Thank you. Bye-bye.